Hey, it's audio-visual proof. Question: did the federal district court actually believe I was going to stop monitoring the district court's civil docket report after dismissing my lawsuit despite everything that was done to my filed documents, from ruining the appearance of my documents to removing pages from my federally filed documents that contained pertinent information, arguments, and counterclaims against the assigned judges, false claims, and constant attacks? Now I'm going to prove the civil docket report at the district court level for my lawsuit against the defendants, Google and YouTube, was intentionally altered after the dismissal, despite being corrected with the proper information prior to the dismissal. This is a copy of the civil docket report downloaded on May 19th, 2022, prior to the change. This is a copy of the civil docket report also downloaded on May 19th, 2022, a couple of hours after requesting the change. This is a copy of the civil docket report downloaded on June 24th, 2022, 2 days after my lawsuit was dismissed. This is a copy of the civil docket report downloaded on September 6, 2022, just under 3 months after the dismissal of my lawsuit. Notice the demanded amount was changed back to $25,000. The civil docket report was unsurprisingly tampered with, and falsified information was placed back onto the civil docket report after my lawsuit was dismissed, despite the case being closed. Here is page 12 of the dismissal order filed under docket 64, where the assigned judge addressed the incorrectly entered information as clerical errors and admitted to the clerical errors having since been corrected. I'll take this time to read important excerpts from page 12 of the dismissal order. In other filings, has expressed frustration with the fact that the PACER page for his lawsuit for some time listed the underlying cause as a federal question rather than diversity, and incorrectly listed his amount in controversy as $25,000 rather than $25 million. The court is sympathetic, yeah, right, to grievances regarding court procedure. Second, the PACER clerical errors have since been corrected, and at any rate, the court has consistently acknowledged that filed his lawsuit seeking $25 million in punitive damages based on diversity of citizenship. In other words, the clerical PACER notations did not in any way obscure the court's understanding of claims. It is very obvious the clerical errors were not errors at all. Please stay tuned for the backstory and why I believe the information was initially deliberately entered incorrectly, and why the incorrect information was re-entered after being corrected. Thanks for continuing to stay tuned in. On December 11th, 2020, I filed a federal lawsuit against Google LLC and YouTube LLC for breach of contract and defamation of character. My lawsuit was dismissed on June 22nd, 2022 for alleged lack of subject matter jurisdiction based on the amount sued for and an immediate appeal was filed on June 23rd, 2022. I cannot reveal any information regarding the appeal, such as case information, statements made, and filed documents. Nothing whatsoever. I am able to reveal that my action was dismissed and an appeal was filed due to those events occurring at the district court level, which is public record. At the onset, in initially filing my lawsuit, information was purposely entered incorrectly into the Civil Docket Report, which I already proved at the beginning of this video, and this is my take as to why this was done deliberately. I filed suit against the defendants for $25 million in punitive damages as punishment for continuously breaching their contract and defaming my character. The Federal District Clerk of Court entered the amount demanded as $25,000 to intentionally make my lawsuit appear doomed from the beginning. Here's why. It is all about perception. Hypothetically speaking, let's assume someone such as a law student or an attorney is researching lawsuits recently filed against Google and YouTube and come across the civil docket for my lawsuit. The intentionally falsified information will more than likely be taken at face value, and based on perception, my lawsuit will appear doomed due to the incorrectly stated amount in demand alleged to be $25,000, which on the surface appears to justify the court's dismissal for lack of subject matter jurisdiction based on the alleged listed amount sued for, particularly if the Docket 64 dismissal order is read by anyone researching the case. The purposely listed incorrect demanded amount is more than likely what contributed to my difficulties in obtaining a licensed attorney. The misinformation will also spark a large lack of interest to dive deeper into researching what actually occurred during the course of the legal matter, because anyone familiar with Title 28 United States Code Section 1332, just as I am, will immediately recognize the requisite demand amount for federal court jurisdiction is $75,000 or more. Again, it's all about perception. The amount demanded being deliberately entered incorrectly by the Federal District Clerk of Court, and my status being listed as a pro se plaintiff, I truly believe the assigned judge and the District Clerk of Court fully intended to make me look foolish and unknowledgeable in the federal rules of civil procedure and unknowledgeable of the information contained within specific titles of the United States Code. This appears to be an attempt to prevent anyone from viewing my lawsuit and evidence due to the deliberately falsified information entered, creating a very negative perception of me as a pro se plaintiff and litigant. Also, the intentionally incorrectly entered falsified demanded amount will continue to spark minor to no interest, but if the correct amount is properly displayed in this manner, rather than this, This will definitely spark interest and motivate those researching my lawsuit to want to delve deeper to find out what motivated the plaintiff to file a demand for $25 million in damages. In a sense, it appears the federal district court is attempting to block the important aspects of my lawsuit from public viewing without actually blocking access to my lawsuit based on a negative perception using deception. If anyone decided to dig much deeper into my dismissed lawsuit, they will see that I defeated both motions to dismiss for failure to state a claim filed by the defense counsel, and will also see how the assigned judge pointed out counsel for the defendant's failure in considering lack of subject matter jurisdiction a separate motion in and of itself, and purposely stepped in and assisted an actual licensed attorney against a pro se plaintiff and litigant, and will also see evidence of document tampering after I filed documents of importance with the District Clerk of Court and other corrupt actions leading up to this tip of the iceberg, which was tampering with the information on the Civil Docket Report after the dismissal, despite the case having been closed. So many deceitful actions took place against me and my filed documents by the assigned judge and the federal district clerk of court, which I have proven with evidence included with past document filings. Keep in mind, it's all about perception based on deception to cover up the misconduct that has occurred throughout the entire legal matter at the district court level. Finally, the assigned judge and the federal district clerk of court believe they are above reproach and engaged in repeated misconduct because I am a pro se plaintiff and litigant. If I were represented by a licensed attorney, do you honestly believe the assigned judge or district clerk of court would have tampered with my filed documents by removing pages during docketing and scanning, claimed pages were not seen during docketing, ruined the appearance of my documents, ignored my demand for evidence, attempted to use my evidence against me, ignored my motion to proceed in forma pauperis, ignored my request for leave of court in accepting an amended complaint, attacked my claims and evidence with every opportunity, tampered with my federally filed documents due to the proposed strong viable counterclaims, not acknowledged my demand for defense counsel to immediately refrain from aggressively offering me assistance, pointed out the defendant's failure in considering subject matter jurisdiction, appearing to assist the defendants who are represented by a licensed attorney, bypassed the defendant's two failed motions to dismiss for failure to state a claim under Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12b-6, refusing to dismiss the motions because it would have been a victory for me, and doggedly pursue a separate motion to dismiss at the court's discretion under Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12b-1 for alleged lack of subject matter jurisdiction? Absolutely not. If I were represented by a licensed attorney.